Well, we can get more now on the deployment of thousands of British troops to Eastern Europe. Here with me now in the studio is Major General Neil Sexton. He's a defence consultant for Universal Defence and Security Solutions. Good to have you back here. Thank you very much indeed. We like our maps, don't we, at Sky News? It all brings it to life, actually, what is going on. It's like our own situation room here, isn't it, with you as an expert to talk us through it. What is happening on the ground? We've spent a lot of time focusing on this corridor here.
Well, I think first, if I just touch on Kyiv, where the Russian MOD has announced that it did carry out missile strikes yesterday, not just in Kyiv, but around the whole of Ukraine. Yeah. And they've said, of course, that they're striking at military targets and power stations. They haven't mentioned, of course, the civilian residential block that they hit, where they've killed at least one person in Kyiv, and there are other casualties. But the main fighting at the moment seems to be still around the Donbass. There is some on the south coast, as you say. But if we look into the Donbass region over here, the Russians have now regrouped. Analysts are saying around 92 battalion tactical groups, each of which 600 to 800 soldiers with 10 tanks each and maybe 40 infantry fighting vehicles. And they're, at the moment, severe fighting around Severodonetsk. There is significant shelling along the edge of the shaded area you can see on the map there, the line of conflict. And that has been extremely difficult for the Ukrainian defenders over the last 24 hours. But they're managing really well in well-dug, well-prepared positions. They've been training for this defence for 8 years, and they have carried out some really good counterattack activity on a local level. So what that means is the Russians are failing to take any ground at all, really, and they're definitely failing to link up between Izium in the north, coming down to the south towards Donetsk. That was their plan. That's just not working as an encirclement at the moment.
Yeah, they're big distances as well, aren't they? So it's going to take some time at the rate that they're going at.
And they're concerned about their logistics still, which has been their weakness in the past, and they're moving very slowly and carefully so that they don't make the same mistakes.
Now, also a big deployment. Around 8,000 British soldiers are due to be sent to Eastern Europe to take part in military exercises there. It's pretty significant, isn't it, the size of the deployment?
It is. Now, these are...
Show us where they are.
These are pre-planned exercises, long-planned, and the British Army is constantly training overseas with partners. And what we've seen today is an announcement of an enhancement of those exercises because of the Ukraine situation. At the moment in Finland, we've got a squadron of the Queen's Royal Hussars that is embedded with a Finnish armoured battle group, the British Challenger 2 tanks working alongside the Finns there under the Joint Expeditionary Force, HEDMARK. That is the UK-led task force that was designed at the NATO conference in 2014. If I come further south, a very significant exercise of some 2,000 British troops in the Estonia and Latvia border region, 2 battle groups from the Royal Welsh and the Royal Tank Regiment, Challenger tanks again, warrior infantry fighting vehicles, alongside about 18,000 troops from other nations as part of the NATO Enhanced Forward Presence deployment that's been there since 2017. And then other exercises later in May and into the summer. Defender in Poland, a very large exercise, 1,000 British troops there, alongside 11 other NATO nations, deploying from bases, our bases in the UK and Germany, tanks into Poland. And lastly, but it's not insignificant as well, a deployment this week of the UK's Air Assault Brigade into Macedonia, along with Chinook and Apache helicopters.
And with your expertise, your hat on here, your military hat on, how significant a message is this sending?
Well, it sends a message of consistent deterrence and partnership across NATO. It indicates, as I've said, that the strengthening of our enhanced forward presence since 2017 has been upped one more level. It shows that the British military is absolutely involved in NATO in a leadership role, and it's demonstrating that we can deploy our troops, reinforce our troops from the UK and from their storage bases in Germany.
Very interesting. OK, Major General Neil Sexton, I think we're going to be speaking to you again later in the programme. But for now, thank you very much.
Thank you.